starts with our team. So who's our team out here at the moment? We have Ayushi, we have Kalind, we have Vivek, um, we have Deepa in the background. Who else do we have? Vivek?
Yeah, I think Kalin can introduced the people involved in this session.
Okay, very good. So you tell me when we should
Yeah,
start, or I should start my intro.
yeah, we're just waiting for a cue from Deepa ma'am, and then we can start. Okay, she is saying we can start.
Okay. Hi, we have 105 participants. You minus our own team, it must be almost 100 people. That is wonderful. And it shows the kind of desire which is out there to kind of learn new skills, which is very heartening. My name is Kavi Arya, and this is our team from e-Yantra. You've been introduced to them already. And we are going to take you through an intro to the software foundation course. This is a course that I teach to all incoming MTech students at IIT Bombay. It's not necessarily an MTech course. It can be a BTech course also, and it can be just a course for working professionals and all that. Main thing is that we teach various important skills in a project-based manner. And this is basically how to use Linux and the open source ecosystem. Now, why is this course important? You know, if you want to do a startup, or if you want to do some cool research, if you want to do a postgraduate degree abroad or anywhere else, MS in the US, or in Europe, or even MTech at IIT Bombay and so on, we expect students to know how to work with the open source ecosystem. Most of the time, you are not going to have access to Microsoft other than on your own laptops. But apart from that, the Linux ecosystem, the open source ecosystem, is a very powerful ecosystem, which is good to know. And good to know all the open source packages that exist around. Why is open source important? Because many proprietary softwares, right, you don't know at college, but they cost a lot of money. And when you leave college and go out into industry, you won't have access to them typically. I'll give you an example. MATLAB, okay, which everybody uses. They use hacked versions of it. Typically, a fully loaded MATLAB license costs about 2 crores. And very few companies out there own MATLAB licenses. So typically, we found stories of our students going out there and a company saying to them, look, we can't afford a MATLAB license. Please write the same thing in C. And then they are totally lost. But if you go the Linux way, the open source way, you will know that there are a bunch of open source equivalents to MATLAB like Scilab and Octave and stuff like that, with which you can do the same work for free. Likewise, it applies to many, many softwares, typesetting software, fluid processing software, electronic simulation software, and what have you. So, especially if you want to do a startup, these skills are very important. But these are also very foundational skills which we train you in, which teach you how to play with data. Okay, now everything is about playing with data, programming in Python nowadays. So these are like core ABC skills nowadays, which not everybody has, and they've not been equipped with at college. So for all these reasons and more, I think it's very important to go through this course, and everybody who's taken it has highly benefited, and they've gained a lot from it. And I think everybody that eYantra has touched as a result of our engagement with them has got into jobs which are highly desirable, placements have been helped, all sorts of good things happen, right? So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them here, but I think you made a very good choice, and I hope that you'll pick up a lot of cool stuff, and that we can help us, that we can help empower you on your journey in working with open source. I see some interesting people here. We have some Bhutanese also, maybe Chungdu sharing and others. Would you like to just open your video and tell us a little bit about yourselves before I leave and leave it to the team? What brings you here, for instance? Chungdu, would you like to venture?
Chumdu, T-Shrink.
Okay. What brought you to
Morning,
this
sir.
course?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, who's that?
I'm Conditional Statements, sir.
Okay. So what brought you to this course?
Um, First of all, I was introduced by my friend to join this session, sir.
Okay. Are you in the
Because
College of Science and Technology?
no, sir, right now I'm at home, sir, because I'm here at lockdown, sir.
Okay. Which college are you associated with?
College of Science and Technologies.
In Funcholing.
Yes, sir.
Great. We have a wonderful relationship with you guys. Anybody else would like to
Thank you, sir.
just thank you. Anybody else would like to just open their video and talk to us?
So, Mayur Bhate this side from Viva College of International Info.
Yeah. Viva College, we have a lot of students. It's nice to have you on board. But
So, Mayur Bhate this side from Viva College of Institute of Technology. I
right.
am currently doing a MCA from Viva College. Attention, that brings me here is the open source software. I have very curiosity about to learn about the open source.
Okay. So this must be the truth with many of the people here. But anyway,
Yes.
I won't slow down the interaction of our team. I'd like to welcome you all on board. I think this is a very important decision that you made, and we'll try our best to live up to our side of the bargain. And I would very strongly recommend that anybody who's interested in this should go through this course. It's a compulsory course for anybody in the software engineering and programming space. If you aren't already conversant with Linux and open source software and programming and tools like Python, Linux, and all these kind of tools that we have, you should definitely learn these skills. This is a part A of a two-part course, which comprises the course that I teach at IIT Bombay. So the first part is this. Second part is some more tools which we'll be putting out a bit later this year. So all the best to you. I hope you enjoy it, and I'd be very interested in seeing what the feedback is at the end of the course. I'd like my team to just unmute themselves to tell me if I should add anything else. Vivek, Ayushi, Kalind.
Yeah, sir. I think we can then start with the session. If you
Absolutely. I think you should get started. Thank you very much, Kalind. I'll hand the floor over to
okay.
Kalind Karia, who's my colleague on the project. He's a someone who came to us as project staff, and now he's also doing a master's at IIT Bombay. So kudos to him, and all the best. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your great guidance.
Most welcome.
Yeah. So, okay. So, welcome everyone. Before we begin, can you just I hope everyone has access to the chat window, right? So, what we'll do is we'll name some terms or technologies, and then you can maybe write down that whether you have had interacted with that particular technology or used that thing before. So one of them is Ubuntu, then Git and Python. So can you just write down which of these three have you ever worked with in the past? Okay, Ubuntu. All three. Good, good. Okay. It is very interesting to know that many people have, you know, okay. Any more replies?
Hey, Kalin, you should put out a poll because then you'll
Yeah.
know because these are the few people who do know. And even if they do
All
know,
right.
there's a lot to learn.
Yes. Okay.
And I should also explain, Kalin, if you don't mind,
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
I'll also
Yeah,
explain
no problem.
why this course is important, because um, anybody who's interested in doing some research, uh, shopping and processing data, analyzing data, presenting results and stuff like that, and also using various tools in your work, analytical tools, AI tools, machine learning tools, and all that. Linux is the environment which is very hospitable and lets you do a lot of really cool stuff, because there's lots of work that previous students have done, universities have done, which are immediately usable, right? So the reason it's compulsory for all our IIT students is because when they do an MTech, they're here to do like an MTech project is basically their research project, and it is in an open source environment where they have to do everything, including, use results of other universities, which are typically code that students have written or systems that they've developed and so on. So it lets you take advantage of the research ecosystem to do your own work. So that's what's very important about this, right? And even if you know Ubuntu, if you know Python, right, you might have various levels of knowing, and through this course you might actually be challenged in a way that you have not been challenged before. Okay, so that's it, Colin. That's all I wanted to say. Or over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So, yeah, like as Kavi sir said, like this particular course is a part of, you can say, part of the CS 699 course in our computer science department. And we'll give a glimpse of what we are going to cover in this particular course in this today's session. So, I'll request my colleague Ayushi to begin with, and I will also interact in between with you. So stay tuned. Yeah.
Hello everyone. Is my screen visible? Okay, I guess yes. So I'll start with the most famous operating system nowadays. You can find it everywhere in your computer, in your mobile. Even Japan's the fastest trains are using this operating system, which is Linux. It is a community developed open source operating system, and it was developed in early 1990s by Linus Torvald and Free Software Foundation. Um, you can find it everywhere. Even all the 500 fastest supercomputers in the world use Linux shell at their base. So nowadays it is very common, and it is very helpful. If it is my experience that if you once shift to Linux, it is very difficult to shift to any other operating system. So moving further, flavors of Linux. As I said, it is a open source operating system. So many people use Linux shell to create their own operating system, or we can say flavor. Some of them are Ubuntu, which is very common nowadays. We all use that. Fedora, Linux Mint, Debian, Solaris, Reddit, and many more. So this is one of the major advantages of Linux, that it is easily changeable, and you can customize it according to yourself and create your own operating system. So uh, tech freaks can create their own operating system based on their application needs, just with basic Linux kernel. uh, okay, so if we talk about Ubuntu, whenever, as we are very familiar with it, whenever you open Ubuntu, you will see this screen, which is very common. And what is this? This is a terminal. And terminal, what does a terminal do? Terminal, or we can say terminal is a window which connect us to shell. Now what is shell? So if you want to interact with the Linux, like if you want Linux to uh, install any application, or uh, interpret any command, then we use shell. So what is a bash? Bash is a shell, or we can say a command language interpreter, which interpret the commands that you give to the computer or that you give to the operating system. So combination, we can write all these commands into a file which we called shell script. So bash is a type of command language interpreter which is commonly used even in the Apple Mac OS distribution. uh, Next we come to Ubuntu basics. So like, I don't want it to be just a theoretical session, so I would just like you to take your mobile phones and inst- yeah, there is a link in the chat. You can just uh, download that application in your mobile phone, Termux app. There is a link in the chat, if you could see.
Sharing is closed.
Yeah, I'm just sharing this.
So we request all participants to kindly install this particular application on your phone. Okay. If there is any issues with installing this particular application, then you can tell us. Okay. So this application, with this particular application, we'll do some demos and we'll show you how this particular restore version. It's not outdated. Uh, yeah, the application is available. Like, it's not outdated, I think. Okay. Kindly just put a yes on in the chat if some of you have all like started installing, or you can say is installed on your phone once it gets installed. All right, cool.
Okay, so I guess now everyone would have this particular app in your phone. So let us start with some hands-on instead of just theory. So yeah, my screen is visible, and your mobile screen would also be somewhat like this only. So we'll start with some of the basic Linux Ubuntu commands that that might help you to know what Ubuntu is and what your computer is basically. So the very first command that I want you to write is host name. And you will get localhost, which is the it displays the system's DNS name. So right now, as we all have installed Termux, so it is showing localhost. If you do this in your Ubuntu in your system, then it would show the name of your system. Second is
मैं सेटिंग चेंज करके बोल रही
who am I. So who
हूँ
am
वाईफाई
I?
या नेटवर्क हो नहीं रहा
It will print the username. Same thing. Now we might all be seeing the same username, but if you run it in your uh, system, then it might show the different username. Okay, I think if you are facing any problem, please let us know in the chat window so that we can
Okay, so has everyone typed this command in your terminal? And What is the output on yours in your screen? Is it similar? Like U0 something underscore and okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, let us type something which will print something on the screen. So for that, we use echo command. Um, what does echo means in if we say in English dictionary? Echo is just reflection of the sound. So similarly, echo, and we'll write some string like echo Ayushi. So the system will echo the same thing, Ayushi, or echo anything, 1 2 3. It will echo. So echo means what we are giving, it will give us back to the user. Okay, now let us. We just don't want to print things on our system, so we'll go and make one directory mkdir. Mkdir, mk that means make, dir that means directory. So mkdir will make a directory naming example. I hope you are just following me and getting same results. Mkdir. So now just to confirm that this directory has been made, we'll just type a command which is list ls. Ls that means list. It will list all the directories that are present. You can see example. Are you able to find this directory by doing ls? Please type in the chat window. Okay. Um, Now we'll go to this directory and create a file. To get into a directory, there is a command called cd, and then write the directory name, cd example. Okay. To check that uh, currently you are in which directory, there is a command which is pwd, which is present working directory. So if you type pwd, you will get the path where you are right now, which is files, home, example. You just did cd example and you are now writing in the example directory. In this directory, let us we want to create a text file and write something in that text file. So to create a text file, we can use a command called touch, and let's say the name of the uh, text file is example1.txt. That's it. Now again, to check whether this is created or not, we'll list all the files present in this example directory. So we'll again do ls, and here you can see you get eg1.txt. Okay, so now to edit this file, we would be needing some of the extra packages which are not available in Termux. So for that, we'll install those packages. So please follow what I'm doing. Uh, First, we'll update Termux app. So for that, we'll do pkg update. Okay, yeah. Kalin sir needed to announce something. So yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes.
So actually, there will be in-session and post-session quiz, and the links will be shared in the chat box. But in order to secure or to become eligible for getting the e certificate, you need to attend the whole session and also you need to attend those quizzes. Based on the qualifying marks, and those who will qualify the quiz, they will get the certificate. Okay, so be attentive. Your question will arrive at any moment. So presently, right now, I am sharing the in-session quiz link. The post-session quiz link also will be shared after uh, some time. You will have 10 minutes for each of the quiz. So please try to finish it before time. It will not take much longer, and be attentive for this to the session. Yeah, I see. Please continue. Thank you.
So everyone was able to hear what was announced just now. Uh, okay. So
In the chat box, maybe I also can continue.
cool, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So we have updated. Yeah. So we'll first install Wget, which is a package which will allow you to download different uh, zip files, or we can say download different things from internet. So pkg
कशात ठेवलं
install
हे ऐकायला कशात ते
wget. uh, Please mute yourself. Yeah, pkg install wget, press y. Yeah, so it is installed. One more package which we would be needing is Nano, which is an editor, text editor. Pkg install Nano. Okay, so um, now we can edit that text file. So to just to check, okay, now we wanted to check that in which working directory we are. So for that, which command would you use? Please write in the chat window. Right, pwd. So after doing pwd, we can see that we are in um, example file, and we just wanted to uh, know what which wget or which is the version of the wget. So for that, we'll do which wget. Yeah, so this will show the uh, directory where wget is being installed, and similarly we can do for Nano. So you can do it for Nano also and just check whether it is installed or not. Yeah, it is there. So now we are confirmed that we have Nano, we have wget, and in which working directory we are right now. So now we wanted to edit the text file that we have created using Nano text editor. So for that we'll simply type Nano, and you can use tab button present here to directly get different text file that you can edit using Nano. So you can do that, or you can just manually write the name. One tip that I wanted to give you: using Ubuntu, use tab frequently, because it will reduce the chances of spelling mistakes. So after writing this nano eg1.txt or nano and tab, you will see this window. Now you can add anything, like I'll just add 2-3 lines. Hi MIUG. Yeah, just 2-3 lines, and then you can just save it by pressing Control X. Yeah, you just have to write nano and the file name eg1.txt. Then a Nano Editor will open up. There you can add 2-3 lines. It is a text editor. You can add any text here and then save it. Please press Control and X. Control and X. It will ask you that you wanted to modify the buffer. Please press Y. It will ask that if you wanted to change the file name. We just wanted it to be eg1.txt. So we'll press enter. And now your text file has been edited. To check what are the contents of this text file, uh, you can simply write a command. So I wanted you to guess that command. It is name of an animal and it is a pet animal. So anyone who could guess the command. Yeah, right, cat. So using cat, okay, so I think I was a bit fast. I'll slow down my pace. So yeah, right now we were talking about animal, which is also a command. So I just wanted to ask, you have done till now, na? And now we are just wanted to see what is there, what we have edited in the file. So for that we'll use cat command, cat, and then the name of the file that you wanted to see, which is eg, and just press tab. It will complete the command. So yeah, eg.txt and enter. Yeah, you can see what you have written in the text file. I hope everyone have done till this. Please write down in the chat if anyone is facing any kind of problem, or in any step they are facing any issue.
So is everyone able to follow up till here? Yes. So do you want anyone wants us to just repeat the commands, so you Ayushi can just scroll up this particular screen, so you can find out also how to exit from Nano. So process for entering. Okay. So Ayushi, can you open that Nano thing and just type down something and repeat the process to save and come out?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that again. To get into the Nano editor, you just have to write Nano and the name of the text file that you want to edit. Here it is. Now I'll just add 1 or 2 lines. Yeah. And now in your mobile, you just press Control and then on your keyboard press X. It will ask you if you wanted to save this buffer. So press Y and then press Enter. Um, are you able to follow that? Please write in the chat window. Okay, cool. So now we have seen what now we'll again check what is there in our text file, which is cat eg1 cap to avoid spelling mistakes. Yeah, the new line that I have added is now being displayed on the terminal. Okay, so we have done till now. Okay, now next I just wanted to we have installed wget, so now we'll use wget. There is a link, press there is a link in the chat. I just wanted you to copy that link. Have you got that link?
Dhruva, what's the okay? She's getting an error, unable to locate package wget.
इंटरनेट इशू हो सकता है इसकी वजह से.
Maybe I'm not sure. Like maybe you can try switching your, you can say internet connection to your phone. Maybe that can be the issue. Okay. Are others able to download wget? Right? Anyone else who is facing such issues with respect to downloading wget package? All right. Okay. Sure, even me. Megharsh again. Then I would say because it's a like very common package and you can like basically it's very much available in your any Linux machine. So I think it should be you should be able to download it. But yeah, you can try changing the network and then see. Okay. We'll continue. Ayushi.
Okay, so you have copied that link from the chat window. We'll just it is a link for a zip file, and we'll just download that zip file using wget. So write wget and paste that link and press enter. Okay, so you might be seeing such thing on your screen which says sfc.zip saved. Please confirm in the chat window. Okay, so I'm just waiting for some more replies. We have pasted the command also in chat window. If anyone is not able to get it, please you can take it from the chat window also. Okay, so we'll move further. Uh, just to check whether we have this file in our system, which command we should run to list different files that are present in our system. Please write in the chat window. Okay, cool. It seems that you are just paying attention to the session. ls. Yeah. Now we have two files, eg1.txt that we created and sfc.zip that we downloaded. It is a zip file, and to access the content of the zip file, we'll first unzip it. So there is a simple command to unzip it, which is zip and file name. So unzip, and you can press tab, and if there is only one zip file, it will automatically complete the command. So press tab. In your mobile, there is a button near ESC. In the keyboard, you can see this button, which is a tab button. You can click that. Okay, now it is showing two files to be unzipped. So if you type S and then press tab, it will automatically complete the command. Press enter. Yeah. So it is unzipped now. Again, just to see what all files we have, we'll again do ls. Okay, so you should now see these three files on your screen when you press ls. So please confirm that you are able to see these three files. Okay, cool. So SFC tech session. Uh, yeah, how to unzip? There is a, you can see the command unzip dot unzip and then the name of the file, and we'll uh, post the command in the chat window also. Unzip and the name of the file that you want to unzip. And after unzipping, uh, yeah, make sure that you are inside the example folder, because uh, we were in the example folder and then we downloaded this. So in example folder, you should be in the example folder. So to get into the example folder, you have to do cd and then example, and to check whether you are in that folder, which command do you want, which command will you use, please write in the chat window. Right, pwd, that is present working directory. You are in the example folder, and then unzip it, because if you are outside that folder, you will not be able to find sfc.zip command. uh, Please confirm that you are able to unzip the command, unzip the file. Cool. So now after doing ls, we are able to see three different files, which is one is a text file, one is a folder, and one is a zip file. So now we'll go into sfc tech session folder to explore more. So how to get into a folder? What is it? Which command would you write to get into a folder or a directory? Please write in the chat window. Yeah, cd, and then folder name. So I'll just write sf press tab, SFC, okay, and then again press tab. Yeah, it will complete the command SFC text session and press enter. Again, to confirm that we are into this directory, we'll do pwd, which is present working directory. Yeah, you can see that you are inside home, example, and SFC text session. Please confirm that you are uh, in this particular working directory by writing yes in the chat window. Okay, cool. Now we just wanted to see the contents of this folder. So we'll again do ls. Okay, so here you can see 4 to 5 Python file and one .sh file. So what is .sh file? .sh file is a shell script. Shell script is a series of command integrated into a file which a particular shell will execute. Execute means which it will if the shell script, whatever shell script is commanding it to do, it will do. So we'll just see what is there in install.sh file. So to open any file in a text editor, which command will you use? Please write in the chat window. To open any file in Nano text editor, which command will you use? Okay, yeah, Nano and the file name, which is in this case we are uh, we wanted to see what's there in the install.sh. To will write install tab. Yeah, Nano. Yeah, here it is. So you would be able to see this on your screen in the Nano text editor. This file, yeah, echo, we have just seen this command echo. It will just print what it is written. I just wanted to explain the very first line of this file, which is this line is has a particular name. If anyone who already know that, I just wanted to ask what this first line of the shell script known as. Please write in the chat window. Yeah, shebang. Yeah, right, correct, shebang. It is not a comment, because for it to be a comment, it should only be a hash there, but with hash we have an exclamation mark also here, so it is not a comment. It is called shebang. And what does this line do? The purpose of this line is to tell the shell which command line interpreter we wanted to use. So here we have written bash. So we are using bash. uh, we are using bash, and along with that there are many other command line interpreters that we can use. So this line just tell the shell which interpreter we are using. Next, this is a comment, print a line with a hash in front of it. It is a comment. Echo, it will just print the whatever it is written. Okay, I'll just go back and explain this once again, because there is a query in the
CD text.
okay, I'll just do it. Uh, Okay, so I'll just repeat from how to get into this dot sh file, control and X. Yeah. So currently we are in example directory, and we'll do ls to see as there are three different folders: sfc text session, sfc.zip, and eg1.txt. Now we wanted to get into the sfc text session folder, so for that we'll do cd sfc tech and just press tab. It will complete the command and press enter. Yeah. So now you are in the sfc text session directory. To confirm that, again do pwd, and you'll see that you are in sfc text session. Now we wanted to see the contents of this folder, so we'll do ls. You'll see 4 to 5 files there. And now I was explaining install.sh, which is a shell script. So to see the contents or to edit this file, we'll open it with Nano Editor. So for that, we'll type nano install.sh. Yeah. So you will see a Nano text editor being open on your screen with some content. The very first line of a shell script is known as shebang, which tell the interpreter, which tell the shell to uh, which interpreter it wanted to use. Please don't confuse it with comment, because comment uses only a hash, and a shebang is hash with exclamation mark and the uh, path of the interpreter that we wanted to use. So this particular file, which is install.sh file, is intended to install the packages that uh, we enter as an argument. Till now we have done it using package install and the package name. So this install.sh is a shell script. We have written this shell script, and we just wanted to install the packages that we write as an argument. So using this we can install multiple package at a time. So let us see how we can do that. Just press Control X to exit. Yeah, Control X. Now you all are on the main terminal. Please confirm. Okay, cool. So now we'll see we'll run one more command to check what are the privileges that are allowed, or what are the things that are being allowed to this particular file, which is install.sh. So for that, do ls hyphen a. Sorry, my bad, minus l. Yeah. So after doing that, you can just see there are something written rwr. What are all these things? If anyone know, you can just write it in the uh, chat window. Cool. Read and write. Yeah. So to give it the permission to execute, there is a command which is chmod, right? Chmod. Now you wanted to give it the permission to execute. So for that, you wanted to add x, that is execute. So plus x, and write the file name, which is install.sh. We'll post this command in the chat window also, so you can just copy paste it from that if you are facing any difficulties, and press enter. Okay, so now we have changed its permission to executable also. So now we can execute this particular shell script. To execute a shell script, there's a simple syntax which is dot slash, and you can press tab because there is only one sh file here, so it will automatically complete the command. If you press tab, it will just show install.sh. And now write the file or the packages that you want to install. Like I wanted to install um, man, and will install sl, will install python, and will install telnet, and will install toilet. Okay, so these are the packages that we wanted to install. We have written all the packages that we want to install as an argument, and we'll press enter. You can see hello user. It is the very first line that we have written. Okay, there is some problem.
Which you can do which man and ascent.
Please write in the chat window if you. Just a second. Okay, so you can just change the command to install sh dot. We'll just first install man. So write the command dot slash install dot sh space man. Please confirm whether it is installed. To confirm, you can just write which man, and you will be able to see the path. Okay. Similarly, for others, which is toilet, we'll just of a man, we'll write toilet. Again, to check whether it is installed, we'll write which and the package that we installed. If you are getting the path, then it is successfully installed. Repeat this for Python. If you are facing any problem, please post your query in the chat window. Cool. Just to check whether it is installed, we'll use which. Okay. And last, we'll install SL. Which SL? Here it is. Okay. One last package that we'll install is telnet. So install.sh telnet. Um, if you're not able to install this, please just check whether it is already available in Termux or not. So for that, do which telnet. Yeah, it is already there, so we don't want to install that. Please confirm in the chat window that everyone is getting this path when they are doing which telnet. Okay, cool. So till now we have seen what is a shell script, what we can do using shell script. Here we have customized the installation process uh, with a sentence which is hello user. And one more thing that we don't do not want to press y every time to confirm that we wanted to install that. We customize the shell script in such a way that it will just install the packages that we want. So uh, that's it. Yeah. uh, there are some 2 3 commands that we get confused when we are using them, as they give same results sometime. So uh, the command that you have already seen, which is cat, and any file name that you wanted. Okay, we'll just see some of the files that are already present, like we'll see cat and install.sh only. Okay, so it will give you what is there in the install.sh command. It will just print it on the term. Now if you do another command, which is head and the file name install.sh, what it is giving, it is also giving the same thing. So one more command, which is tail and the name of the file, tail install.sh. These 3 commands give you the same, exactly same thing, which is the content of the install.sh file. Then why we have given 3 different commands? So as the name suggests, head, and with an argument which is -n and 2, and then write the name install.sh. Here n suggests number, that means number of lines. Head means from starting. So this command will return number of lines which is equal to 2 of this particular install.sh file from starting. So now what you should get starting, or we can say first two lines of this particular file. If you press enter, yeah, you can see the first line is shebang and the next line is a blank line. So here you get uh, two lines. If you just write in place of 2 you write 3, you will get of the file. Similarly, tail. So now you can guess if head is returning the first n lines of a file, then what tail will do. Please write in the chat window. Yeah, correct. From bottom. So if we write tail n3 and the file name install.sh, we'll get the last 3 lines of the particular file. So that's it. The basic, these are the basic, we can say, commands that help us to do things that are necessary. Now I would like Kalin sir, he'll share some uh, interesting games that we can play, or interesting things that we can do from the terminal. So over to you, Kalin sir. I'll just stop sharing.
Okay, so I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So you had installed few of this commands, right, with SL and such commands, right? So what you can do is, for now, you can run SL in your terminal directly, okay, and just hit enter, and you will see such a train passing from the right to left on your screen. Are you able to see and enjoy this? People who love trains. Yeah, you can maybe answer in the chat if you. Yeah. So this was what we just, this SL is nothing but a, you can say, a simple shell script written for displaying such images, or you can say running animations. So basically what we want to tell you, that there are many more things, or you can say there is much power you can do with, or you can exploit this particular thing with respect to the shell scripts and the bash commands, right? So now you already have the toilet application as well, right? So for example, like I'll just take any name from the chat. Let's say I'll take it is Pratik, okay? So I'll take his name and I'm just writing down toilet and Pratik. So can you say this? Do not get offended. Toilet is just a command, okay? So it's not made by us as well. So okay. So basically, what it will do is that whatever text you are passing as an input to this particular command, it will basically generate an ASCII art of it, right? So can you all also try out your name on your phones, and then are you able to see such cool ASCII art for your name? Yeah. Okay, great. Uh, Next, we had this telnet command also installed with us. So maybe, right? So now, next you can type down this part, which is telnet space app sc .me. Okay, and I'm just hitting enter into it, and it will start something. And are you able to see this on your screen? Kindly confirm. So basically, it's a world map. Okay, and the best thing about it is this is not just you can say stale world map, but you can zoom into this particular world map, and you can basically hover over it. You can maneuver inside this. You can see such countries. Yeah. So to first of all, to you can say maneuver over this, you can go. You can use your arrows, up, down, left, right arrows, and to zoom into it, you can use the A key, the key like basically character A on your keyboard to zoom into a particular area. Okay, and if suppose you see such like if this particular color changes, so you can just hit character C, and it will turn back into the actual ASCII mode. So when you see that particular thing, that is a character mode, and when you want to come back to ASCII, you can just press again C to change it. Okay, and then you can just again zoom into and basically locate yourself on this particular country. So are you able to also follow this and you know try out what you want, like whatever you want to do? Okay, so you can maybe use the reactions. I think there is an icon of reactions in the WebEx to react that how cool do you got this with this particular. Did you enjoy this thing that we just did over here? You can just put some emojis. Okay, cool, cool. So yeah, I think everyone enjoyed this. Now what we can do? Yeah. So now he will continue after this. So thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, people. I hope I'm audible. Okay, so let me just start sharing my screen. But I hope you understood the bash commands and what you can do with those basically. So now let's take a quick look at Python. Okay, so yeah, I'll for people who are using Termux, you, all you have to do is type Python, and other people who are joined from their laptops, you can use the same command Python, but there will be like version mismatch, so I'll cover that later. Just now, can I close this? Yeah. So again, another example of using the terminal was we could share the zip file with you sitting at IIT, and you were sitting at your respective places all across India, and all you had to do is take this URL which we had shared with you, and that file was going from my computer to your individual terminals on your Android phones or your computers. So command line is a very powerful place to work with. So I'll just close that. Hope if you now I think you won't be able to download it, but if you still want to download it later, we'll share the link, some other link. Okay. So this is my terminal. In Termux, you'll have to write Python. Even people who are using Ubuntu or any Linux system, you can use Python. Just type Python. Let me just restart.
Can anyone confirm if I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Was I audible? What was the last thing you heard me say?
No, Parth, you
Okay, I think.
like muted for some time.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay, maybe I'll what is it? Like Parth will talk from my mic basically. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. So so if just confirm if you have opened Python in your terminals or your terminals. दो इंस्टेंस आ गए मेरे. I'm stuck in map showing mode. How to exit from map showing mode?
It was just Q, no?
Vaibhav, can you type press Control and C,
Q,
or
control.
just
It's
Q?
just
Q
Q.
works. Yeah. Okay. So I hope we don't face any other issues. Okay. So I'm assuming all of you know what variables are. You know the basics of programming, and you've worked with at least one programming language before. So let's say I want to create variables. Some what you might have done previously while you were using maybe let's say C++ or Java, you might have said int variable name something, or int age. Uh, okay, you might have said int age is equal to 18. In Python, you don't need to do that. Python is type safe, so you don't need to tell the variable what type of data it is. You just say the variable name is equal to the value you want to store in it. So I just say age is equal to 18, and now the value 18 is stored in my variable called age. Okay. You can check that, of course, and Python is smart enough to give it a type. So if I just say type of age, so type is a function in Python which will tell you what type of variable you have there. So if you press enter, you just say type age, it will give you that it is an integer of class int. So it is basically an integer here. Yep. So Pratik said it correctly. You directly assign the value to the variable without giving it a type. You don't need to give it a type. Python will intelligently assign it a type. You can also do if you want to see, you can also give it a name in a string. And now if I do type string, it is of class str for string. Okay, not visible for Ravi.
Yeah, I think it is visible. Maybe it would be a bandwidth issue, but yeah, I think you can continue. You can continue.
Okay. Okay, so print next, let's see, do some basic operations. So I have num1 as my variable. It has 34. Num2 has, let's say, 12. You can do all the common operations which you have already done in C++, Java. You can add num1 plus num2 to give you the output. You can subtract it as well. So num1 minus num2, multiplication, division, that is all same. Okay. But can you guess what would happen if I did something like num is equal to 5, name is equal to uh, and what if I did something like num plus name? Error. So can anybody guess what kind of error will I get? Type error. Okay. So as you see, it cannot add two types of variables, integer and string. Okay. What if I do num into name? What do you think I'll get now? Same error. How many of you say I'll get the same error? Data type not unsupported operand types. No error. Okay. Perfect. So I got the same. I got my name multiplied into 5. So in that sense, I guess Python is very weird. Like it's not like C++ and Java, but this will be a useful trick when we do one program later. Okay. So just keep this in mind. Okay. I hope everybody is following till here. Yeah. You can just give some reaction or type yes in the chat if you're following. Cool. Okay, so variables are done. We had a look at data types. Okay, in the meantime, if you want to clear your screen, it's Control L. Okay, is there a command clear?
You can.
Yeah,
I think you can do.
yeah, Control L should work. Yeah, perfect. So okay, let's look at some control structure now. So I hope all of you have heard about if else. Quickly, if anyone can unmute and tell the audience what is if else, or if you can just put it in the chat, that would be great. Basically, what does if else do? When do we use if else?
Anyone can speak. Like it would be easy to speak up and answer the question instead of writing in chat.
So it is a type of
So
conditional
all of you are
statement.
guessing correctly. Conditional statements, when we want some condition or decision based on we want one piece of code to be executed but not the other piece of code to be executed based on some condition, we use if else. So let's have a look at that example, and one of the most common examples we'll take, like the most generic, that if my age is, let's say, 17, if age is greater than or equal to 18, then we say print voter, else we say print cannot vote. Simple. So I'll just get my output cannot vote. Why? Because this condition was false. My age variable, which was 17, it was not greater than or equal to 18. So it completely skipped the if part and it came to the else part. Correct? Yeah, true and false. Just true and false. If this is true, if my condition is true, execute this. If it is false, execute the else part. Okay. So we saw, I forgot to say this, but we saw this print command right now for the first time. So let's just quickly uh, say you can print anything. You can print strings. So hello world, just like you had echo in shell script, you have print in Python. It will print something for you. Also, it will automatically add a new line after whatever string you give, and it will print the next, whatever the next output will come on a new line. You can also print variables. So print age will give you 17. Print name also I had as a variable, so that will print my name. So that's a very simple command. You don't need to do cout output operator. You do not need to do system.out.println in Java. It's very simple. Just print and whatever print output you want to give on your screen. So it's pretty close to the English language, as close as possible. Very short code and very easy to read code in Python. Okay, so that was print, which I just forgot to mention. But this was the if and else part, which this was the if and else part which we were focusing on. So now, if you can see, there are these three dots here, and then there is a space. Again, three dots, but there is no space this time with else. Just this one standard space, and then again three dots and four spaces here. So can you tell me what is the use of these spaces? Or what would you normally do in other languages? to give you a comparison. It's indentation. But what you would do normally in, let's say, a language like C would be if, and this will be the condition here. And then to tell it that this is a part of the if code, you'll open a curly bracket here, a curly brace, right? In fact, yeah, in CPP it would be something like if condition, open curly bracket, and then uh, true statements here, then you close curly bracket for if, then else, again you open false statements here and close curly bracket. So this is this is what you would do normally in C++ and Java. You open curly bracket, you close curly bracket, and that will tell the interpreter or the Python program what has to be executed if this condition is true. Why? Because it is starting with a curly bracket and ending with a curly bracket. Same for else. So if the condition is false, it knows exactly where the statements are which are to be executed if the condition is false. Okay. Yeah. But in Python, it is all indentation based. Yeah. So if you see this program, yeah, with Python is very clean. It follows no curly bracket structure. Instead, you need to give it 4 spaces or 1 tab space. Up to you, whichever you prefer. So here you give it a colon to say that okay, this is an if statement. And just as a general rule of thumb, whenever there is a colon, you have to put an indentation on the next line to say to show that this is inside that particular block. So this print statement is inside this particular if block. And how does the Python interpreter know that? It's because of this indentation. Even for the else part, because it is indented below it else, it knows that this is in the else part. There is no bracket business going on here. You just have to indent it every time. And the indentation is 4 spaces or 1 tab key. Okay. The scope, yeah. As Surinay says, it tells the interpreter that this is inside the scope of the if block. Okay. Now, I hope you understood this. If you have any doubts, you can ask, yeah, or give a reaction. Okay, I got 1 yes from Harsh and some reactions here. Thank you. Okay, so next we look at the else if part. So if again we'll do age. Okay, this time I want to take age as an input from the user. So again, you don't need to do any cin brackets or buffered reader, scanner, anything. Just age is equal to in uh, enter your age. Okay, so this is the message that I want to give the user, that enter your age, and this is the input function which will take the input from the user and store the age in this variable. So let's see. If I enter this, enter your age is the message given. I say 34, and then if I print age, I got 34 in this variable. Okay, so very simple. This is the input function. But if you see the type which is input, which it stores it as a string. So to compare it, we need to convert it into an integer. So let's do that and also look at if else. So to convert it into an integer, you have to use int to convert it into an int input. Okay, enter age. So input will accept the age. This will convert it into an integer. Okay. Next, if age is greater than 18, print eligible. Else if, what you would normally be used to will be else if, but in Python it's just short form. L if age is equal to 17, print wait one more here, else print cannot vote. Okay, so now because my age was 24, it's eligible. So this is the if else if structure where, and you can have multiple else if conditions. So here I have one condition for greater than 18. The second condition is if I want to check if it's equal to 17, and then else, and you can have multiple such elif blocks. Okay, so that's done. Now we move on to looping. So looping, again, I'm just assuming that you know what loops are. They are just repetitive to give to just say it in one sentence. You can repeat a certain set of code n number of times till your condition is false. Correct? Just to put it in a nutshell. So let's say I want to print 5 numbers. Have I have a variable I is equal to 5 while I is less than or equal to 5. Okay, now again, as a general rule of thumb, whenever you see a colon, you have to give an intent. Print I. So I print the variable I. Next, I want to increment I. So naturally, what you might, some of you might do is do I plus plus. But in Python, this increment operator is not supported. Instead, you have to manually increment it by I to I plus 1. Or if some people prefer, it's I is equal to I plus equal to 1. It's just a short form. But if you want to keep it clear, like easy to understand, you can just say I is equal to I plus 1. The increment decrement operators are not supported in Python. Okay, so
Surini Chatterjee, do you want to say something? Okay, I'm muting you. All right.
yeah, so let's just see the output of this. Sorry, I is equal to 5. My bad. I is equal to 1 while I is less than equal to 5. Print I, and I is equal to I plus 1. Enter. So it loops all the outputs of 5 from 1 to 5, and you can increase this to 500 as well. It will still be 3 lines of code. So this is the while loop. But again, keep in mind the indentation and the incrementation, which is different from other languages. You also have a for loop. So for loop will be much different from what you have been used to. For loop won't work with you won't have incrementation, no condition. There is no the general bracket structure which you have, two semicolons, three different parts. For loop iterates over a iterable item data type. So it will iterate over arrays, lists, other data structures. That is what for loop is used for. If you want to check a condition, you have to use a while. So I'll do something like for I in range 5, and range is nothing but a list of numbers from 0 to 5. And if you have a list later on, we'll see what it iterates over the list as well. So for I in range 5, you just do print I, and you don't need to do increment here because the range is range. This will give you a list of 5 numbers, and this will for loop will just iterate over it. Okay, so you got 0 to 4. You can change it as well. So you can give it a starting point. So from 3, go until 10. Uh, so it went from 3 to 9. Okay, it doesn't take the last number into account. And you can also give it a step value. So print all the alternate numbers from 3 to 10. So the step value will be 2. So it only printed 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, so that was the for loop. Any doubts? Yeah. Oh. Okay, I am hoping there are no doubts because, and I'm going a little fast because I want to do a few programs with you. So I'm exiting the Python shell now, and we'll do a few Python programs. So if you do the standard ls command, you will see that yeah, ignore this. I just created this. If you unzip your sfc.zip correctly, you should see this folder, sfc text session. So just cd into that folder. Okay, and now if you do an ls again, you will see six files. Five of them are Python files. Okay, so we have a lot to cover actually. Do we have time?
Okay, maybe we can. Ratan sir, are you here? Or
It's I,
learn to exit from Python terminal. You can press Control D, or you can write exit and parenthesis. Yeah, sorry, Ratan sir, you were saying something.
yeah, you're calling, right?
Yeah. How much time do we have? Can we know? Because
We expected to
it's
finish
near
by
1.
1 p.m. But how much time you need more?
15 minutes.
ठीक है.
Are all participants can stay till 15 minutes, like 15-20 minutes? You can write down in chat yes or no. Or
Okay. Then we're ready to go for.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, am I audible? Yeah, cool. So we'll quickly take a few programs now. The first one was tables.py. So again, we'll use the nano command, nano tables.py. If you have downloaded the zip correctly, this screen should open up for you, which says, and this is the problem statement, that accept a number x from the user and print its multiplication table from 1 to 10. Okay, pretty simple. And the code is pre-filled, so the commands for accepting are already there. We just have to complete the loop, and you are going to help me do that. So let's start with this. So I tab into the while loop. uh, I have initialized I to 1, I is less than or equal to 10, and the num we are already accepting from the user. So what do we need to do? We just need to print it. So let's do print, and you can concatenate strings. Okay, so we'll say num. Actually, we need to convert it into a string. So str of num plus, and num we want to multiply that by str of I. Okay, so num x I. Uh, Again, you concatenate that with an equal to, is equal to, and you concatenate that by num into I. This will be my print statement, and then you need to increment I is equal to I plus 1. So only 2 lines we had to add here. Let's see if this works. So now that I have filled my tables.py, if I want to run a Python file and not the Python shell, I want to run this Python file. So I just type Python tables.py. So now it won't open the shell, it will run this file for you. So enter the number. Let's say I want the table for 5. So it printed the table for 5. 5 into 1, 2, 5 into 10, which is 50. These 10 lines. Okay. Did everybody get this output? And if you want, I can show this file. You can take a second to type these two things, or you can click a snapshot of this part and just give a reaction once you're ready to proceed. Okay, great. So this is done. The next I was thinking of taking was this program power.py. So again, the same, you open your text editor, nano power.py. This problem statement is, so there we used a while loop. Here we are using a for loop. Accept a number and its power from the user, calculate the result and print the output. So given will be x and y. The output you want is x raised to y. So if I give x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3, I want 2 into 2 into 2, which is 8, the x 2 raised to 3. Okay. So here, if you see this comments part, these are the comments actually. Just like you give comments in shell script, same hashtag you use here to give comments. So I'm accepting x in the line over here, enter a number, y is equal to enter the power, whatever the user enters. And then in this part between this hashtag and this hashtag, I want to put my for loop. And then the print statement is already, there for you. So let's say for I in range. And what would be the range I want here? If you can, someone can message in the chat, what should be the range here? Y. Yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, I want it to start from 1, and I want it to go till y plus 1, because the range won't take y, it will only do y minus 1. So I just do y plus 1. So I want it to start from 1 to go until y plus 1 for I in range 1 to y plus 1. Then I have a variable called answer here. So I'll just do answer is equal to answer into x. Okay. So this while this for loop will multiply x y number of times and store the final result in a variable called answer. And then there is this print statement to print the output. So let's just check if this is correct. Same procedure, Python, and you give it the Python file name power.py. So 2 and 3. So 2 raised to 3 is equal to 8. And again, if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can go ahead and do so. Okay, so we are done with this. Now let's take a look at some modules. So compared to shell script, what the main advantage of Python, apart from it being a modern language, is it's very extensible. So you can do web development in Python, you can do machine learning in Python, you can do anything in Python. It's a very powerful language, and you do all that stuff. Not, you can install modules into it, just like you installed applications in your Android phone. You can install modules which will help you do a particular action in Python. So let's take a look at that. So this time open timer.py. All you do is nano timer.py. Okay. Here the problem statement is accept time in seconds from the user and set a countdown timer for the user. And time, the first statement which you see here will be import time. So time is an inbuilt module inside Python. We don't need to install it. As soon as you install Python, some extra modules also get installed alongside it. So I'm just making use of that module called time. And the state, we want to create a countdown timer, right? So let's accept the number of seconds the user wants the countdown to be. So that is done here. Num is equal to int of input. Yeah.
Học खाइए है तब तक है?
Sorry. Yeah. So enter the time in seconds. Okay. Now you have to do a for loop. So this is very simple. For I in range. Actually, it's a little tricky, different here, because I want to make the for loop go in reverse order. Instead of starting from 0 and going till, let's say, 60 seconds, I wanted to start from 60 and go all the way to 0. So to do that, you need to give it the values in reverse order, but the positioning is the same. So the first value will be the starting value, which is 60, but in this case, it will be num, whatever the number of seconds the user enters. So num is the starting. I want it to go all the way to 0. So I will do -1, because it will never take -1, it will take 1 before it. So from num to -1, or let's say we just take 0 for now, for the sake of simplicity. From num to 0, and I don't want it to increment, I want it to decrement. So the step will be -1. So it will start from num, let's say the num is equal to 60. So it will start from 60, it will go all the way to 0. Why? Because my step count, the difference between each iteration will be -1. So these are the three values which you need to put. So for I in range, num 0, -1. And for now, let's just say print I. So without putting any timer part, let's see what the output is. Python timer.py. Let's say I want a timer for 45 seconds. It went ahead and printed 45 to 1, but it didn't do it for 45 seconds. It directly printed that immediately. So we need to put in the timer functionality now. So again, you open your text editor, and inside your for loop, after the print statement, you put this line, time dot sleep 1. So what this will do is, it's an inbuilt function. It will pause your code execution for 1 second. Simply put, it won't do anything. It will just stay at this point for 1 second. And then it will go on to the next iteration, again print, and again it will sleep for 1 second, and so on till the for loop is over. Okay. And you don't need to know how it is waiting for 1 second. How does it know that it's exactly 1 second? All that Python takes care of you, for you. That's why it's so easy to use. So now with that command, let's try it one more time. Python timer.py. This time I'll just put 5 seconds. So it's counting down now. It created a countdown timer for me, and exactly 5 seconds later it will say timer over. Okay. If you want, I'll show you this code one more time. Okay. So I hope everybody understood this. You can take a snapshot of this. And last, I thought let's end it on a fun note. So I thought of creating a game with you all. Nanogame.py. Okay, so you already got the full. I forgot to remove the statements. Uh, yeah. Actually, I was going to type it out alongside you. We can do that. Let's create a new file, or maybe I'll just explain it to you. Okay, so in yeah. So in this game, what the objective is, you have to develop a guessing game where the computer will randomly choose one of the 10 digits, 0 to 9, and the user gets 3 chances to guess the correct number which the computer has chosen. Okay, so we make use of again of a random module, a module called random. So this again is inbuilt, and you don't need to know how it works, but it will randomly choose a number for you. Okay, this part I haven't completed. So enter the choice list below. Computer number is equal to random.choice, and this requires a list of numbers. So let's just give it a range from 0 to 10. You need to give it a range. So from which range should the random module choose a number? So that number gets stored in computer number, the variable called computer number. Then there is a print statement that says the computer has chosen its number. Now it is your turn to guess. And we also set a variable called user lives is equal to 3. Okay. So now that we have that variable, we create a while loop while user lives is greater than 0. So till the user lives is greater than 0, the game is not over. Okay. And you print that you have X number of lives remaining. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. Next, you ask the user to enter his or her guess. So what is the user guessing the number? And you store that in the variable called guess, and then you just simply check using if. So if guess is equal to computer number, you print congratulations, you have guessed the number correctly, and you break the loop. So this is again a keyword that will stop the loop. Else, you just subtract a life from the user lives variable. So now instead of 3, the user will have 2 lives, and you say, sorry, wrong guess, try again. But here you also give the user a hint. So if guess is greater than computer number, then you say hint, the number is smaller than the number you entered. Or if the user entered a bigger number, then you just say the number is larger than the number you entered. And finally, if the while loop stops, so if user lives is not greater than 0, you just check if user lives is equal to 0 and print game over. The computer's number was this, so the user should also know what the number was. So that is the code. You already have it because it was there. You just needed to put the random part. So let's execute this. Python game.py. So it says computer has chosen its number. You have 3 lives remaining. Let's guess 5. Sorry, wrong guess. The number is smaller than the number you entered. So let's guess for 2. Okay. Does anybody want to guess a number? it should be less. The hint the program is giving us that the number is smaller than 5. So you can choose any number from 0 to 4. Okay, someone said 3. So let's guess 3. The number is smaller than the number you entered. So now you have options of 0, 1, and 2. Let's guess 1. Sorry, the computer's number was 0. Or one more time. Enter your guess. Huh? Okay. Somebody give me a number to choose. And give a middle number so that you can narrow it down. 5. Okay, everybody's saying 5. The number is smaller than the number you entered. Next, what do you want to choose? Okay, 2 is still smaller. So the options are 0 and 1.
Someone said 1 and 0.
Okay, a 50-50 chance. We don't know which number it might be, but let's see if it's 1. It was still 0. Anyway, so you can have a lot of fun with Python, and this is just the surface. We are going to do a lot more in the actual MOOC. This was just like 1 hour worth of Python, but we have many such fun programs in the MOOC. So thank you. I'll hand it over back to Kalin.
Okay, so I'm audible?
Yeah.
All right. So we come to an end to this particular session, and I actually thank all the around 80 participants still were there till around 2 hours, I guess. And so just a few announcements that we will be launching this Software Foundation MOOC course. The registration will start from 10th February. Kindly mark this date in your calendar in case you forget. So 10th February will be the registration date, and the registration will go on till 28th February, which is the end of this month. And just after that, which is the 1st March, we will start this particular course. Okay, so this is the complete registration period, 10th Feb to 28th Feb. And if Vivek is over here, Vivek, are you able to hear me? Vivek or Ratin sir or Ruchi? Okay, Ruchi is not there.
I am here.
Yeah, so Ratin sir, will we send to participants just to remind about these dates once more? We have
Yeah,
collected the email, right?
we have their email IDs. We'll be sending reminder for the
Okay.
registration. This is a entire course registration, 6 week long, probably. So
Yeah.
as Kalin said, you can register. Yeah, Kalin,
And
the time for post
yes,
quiz.
yeah, yeah. Sir, just one small thing. So everyone, just kindly note the link that I'm just posting down in the chat. Okay, so this is the open repository, GitHub open repository for the zip file that you downloaded on your phone. Okay, so if you want to use it on your, maybe let's say, PC or laptop, you can go to that particular link and just download from there. Also, in maybe by tomorrow, we will upload the solutions as well of whatever of the Python files that we had in that same repository. Okay, so you will see a folder. Right now, there is no folder. You just have a zip file. But by tomorrow, we'll upload a folder also over there. So you can then try it at your leisure time and then enjoy. So yeah, Ratin sir, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, if you can post the post session quiz now, Kalin. Am I audible?
Yes. Okay, wait. I'll share it. Just a minute.
Yeah. Participants, you will have 10 minutes to answer these questions, and it will be the decider factor for getting your certificates from e-Yantra. So those who will qualify this, uh, they will get the certificate.
Yeah, the link is posted in the chat. So yeah.
Kalin, would you like to share anything else? Or anyone from our team?
Sorry.
Our team, would you like to tell anyone?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat once more?
Okay, would you like to say
Nothing, sir.
anything? Would you like to say anything?
Okay. Yeah, I would just say that if you are in your, maybe let's say if you are in your undergrads or you are in the school, I'm not sure about the crowd that we have over here, but in fact this particular course is not only limited to students or say school students as well. Even if you are a working professional or maybe taking or a faculty in a college as well, everyone is welcome to take this particular course. There is no age limitation like we have in case of voting, right? So there is no limitation. Anyone can participate in this course. Even you can refer to your friends or your siblings in your home, right? So yeah, that's all. And I hope the quiz is simple. Okay, we have taken we have taken questions related to what we have just taught in this 2 hours session. So it will be pretty simple. So
Okay. Now I request all the participants if they can turn on their video. We'll take quick snapshots.
So just one thing I would like to add, that even I was a participant in the SFC MOOC last year, and one of the best things I learned there was how to entirely work on the command line. Now I'm completely comfortable working on the command line. I don't need to, like, I rarely would prefer to use the mouse anywhere. I would just do it via commands, and there are so many command line tools available there out there that it's endless. Actually, you can download right from playing games. You can download YouTube videos, and you can even browse the web inside your terminal. It's really powerful, and it also helped me at eYantra, like doing all the server management. And even I'm sure if I'd learned this earlier in my college, I would have been much more better at doing programming and operating my computer than I was at that time. So I would encourage every one of you to just participate, and refer your friends as well, because from personal experience, I just wish I had this in my college. And I'm sure you would agree too if you completed all the 6 weeks of this course. It's really interesting. Like, you do a lot of Python programming, but you also do shell scripting, and you would operate programs like awk and regex and all that, which you would never even have used or even heard about, but now they are indispensable actually.
yeah, Ratin sir, I think we can now ask participants to unmute, like unmute their, not unmute, basically turn on their camera so we can see how they feel about this session from their faces. Is Vivek over here?
I guess no, he's not.
Okay. I think all participants are shy to turn on their videos.
Just take whoever, at least. Just pretend to be happy. Okay. Now I thank my colleague Kalin, Ayushi, Parth, Vivek, Ruchi. Thank you for this taking this session. And also I would like to thank all the participants who are present from the very beginning till the end. So don't forget to register for the entire SFC course. It will be launched soon, and we'll be sharing all the details with your with the email ID. We'll send a reminder to you. So with this note, I would like to close this session now, and the link will